Hey folks, I got a lot of requests about a guide to Vermintide, so I got a leading member of the community to help me out with that. Lunathex, let's go to you and have a chat about Victor Saltzpyre's melee weapons.
Well, before we do that, cool guy, we need to ask 2 questions of every weapon that will be in this series from Saltzpyre to Kruber. Question 1, can a weapon get you out of a horde with minimal or no damage? The second question is, can it deal with more than 2 storm vermin at once?
Yeah, because that for sure. Yeah, the big thing about high level play in these games or in Vermintide as a whole is just, can you get through something without taking damage? Damage is always like the last thing you want to take.
Health is the golden resource. But if you get so good that you don't take damage, then most traits on weapons are kind of superfluous.
Yeah, the truth of that.
The Rapier is Saltzpyre's answer to just being able to hit everything as much as he wants. It has the least amount of damage. It kind of hits for varied amounts no matter where you hit. It has 16 pistol shots for free. But overall, it's a fantastic weapon if you get the right perks, such as Killing Blow, which means you can just kind of wait in there and just keep swinging and then kill a lot of things because it can proc multiple times on one swing.
Yeah, the biggest thing to note is that this most of Saltzpyre's weapons will turn him into a striker who is primarily concerned with killing rats that everybody else is already concerned or is already engaging. I've always found the Rapier to be the easiest one to do that. You pick it up, and as long as you are concerned with not taking damage, block first, dodge second, you'll be able to play at a high level with it pretty freaking quickly.
Plus, it just oozes all kinds of style. I mean, I love the animation in first person because you can see him swinging it around, but in third person, he's just kind of like waving it up and down. See, the axe was not a very good weapon before this patch, but this patch is why we're doing this videos now. The axe in 1.5 is a beast. It kills clan rats on Cataclysm, which is this whole last stand thing here is being done on heroic, just to show off the weapons in the first 2 questions that we ask. And on the power attack, you will kill a clan rat in one hit, or hitting them in the head.
Man, yeah, no, it was definitely really helped. It was almost a joke option before this patch. I still find it much more difficult to use than some of the other weapons, simply because it only hits one rat at a time.
But at least now, when it's hitting a rat, it's going to kill it. And if you get the Backstab perk, which is straight double damage for hitting them from the back or the side, you will kill Storm Vermin in one hit on Nightmare, easily.
That's pretty hot.
And before we go on, there is the matter of the push system. So Devastating Blow got nerfed. There are 4 levels of pushes. Now, you start at level 1, which is like a weak, sweet push. Then there's Basic Push, which is what most weapons have. And we can see Backstab with the axe in action against a Nightmare Ogre. It will melt him.
Good lord. You're not kidding around there.
Level 3 push is what Devastating Blow used to upgrade every weapon to, unless it was a shield. And level 4 is only available to shields with Devastating Blow. Which means, if you're already at level 3, you can push Storm Vermin and everything else around like the schoolyard bully, essentially. You're not going to be cleaving into hordes with this weapon over much, but if you get behind them, you might as well. Can save some ammo.
Yeah, and you have the option of that more often than you would think with Saltzpyre, precisely because, like said, everybody expects him to be a striker. People see him, and if you're working with a Kruber that's using his shield, or Barton that's rocking a shield, they're going to reasonably expect that they get the attention, you get the kills.
The two-handed sword is a denial weapon. It's very much based on crowd control, but you're not going to kill anything that's armored with it.
Yeah. The big advantage here, and the thing that makes it a lot easier to use, at least in my book, is that it hits substantially more things for reducing damage each time. You don't hit everything for full damage, but as you can see,
it does hit a maximum amount of targets, unlike the two-handed hammer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can see though that those damage numbers are mostly just provided to allow you to figure, oh, okay, it does about this much damage. On a single target, it actually does less damage than a strike from the hatchet, which It's kind of weird, but when you're hitting 6 dudes at once, well...
There is damage fall off the more you hit.
Mm-hmm.
When you see the ideal traits pop up, those are just traits that are easy to get into with this weapon. Like, if you'll have 4 shields with perfect balance for stamina, and it means you can block a lot, or devastating blow, which means you can push rats around a lot, which everybody can appreciate, because that means because the claymore here is at level 2 push, so you'd be up to level 3, and you can start shoving storm vermin around a lot more.
Storm vermin in particular end up being something that you have to pay a lot of attention to, because on the higher difficulties, specifically Cataclysm, they can kill you in one blow.
And in 1.5, they're kind of everywhere now, which makes sense because the axes are so damn good. I honestly can't see people really not taking the axes anymore now because they are 100% anti-storm vermin and they are so fast.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is going to be a treat for a lot of people because it's a new weapon that Saltzpyre gets with the Dwarf DLC. It is the Falchion. It functions exactly like the Glaive did at the Drakenfels DLC launch.
Yeah, and it felt a lot like that to me too. For those of you who aren't familiar, the Glaive was absurdly overpowered at launch, but even now it's not quite as bad just because it still only has 2 maximum targets.
And it is a level 1 push, and Devastating Blow, being it nerfed, is not... Putting it to level 2 push ain't worth it. I'd go with the speed, and this weapon has access to Backstabbery, and not many weapons do. In fact, the axe... I feel like this is pretty much just a straight upgrade from the axe for the fact it hits another target. Not as much damage, but it also has a way easier time of landing headshots. I have seriously noticed that. This weapon utterly decimates Cataclysm clan rats.
That's good. That's always a big deal, just because everything on Cataclysm hurts so damn much.
But if you're not taking damage and you're just killing everything really fast, what have you got to worry about, right?
Exactly. Looking forward to this. This is how it performs on Cataclysm. We've got all of the health bars turned on, so you can see, how much damage it does in a real sense.
I'm pretty sure I just killed those 2 rats. That was a light attack too.
Yeah, no, you're just carving those guys up.
Using my mods to spawn more because debug mode.
Yeah. The other nice thing about that is because it feels really nice, and I feel that makes it a lot easier to learn.